Stop the cap. Thomas Mengesha, you have never served one day in the military. Look at you. You don't even look like somebody who served in the military. You're soft-spoken. You're not aggressive. You expect me to believe that you spent 23 years in the United States Army? You expect me to believe that you served not one, but two tours of duty in the Iraq war zone? There is no way that you've done that. You expect me to believe that you've received numerous wartime service medals, commendation medals, achievement medals, unit citation medals. You want me to believe that you actually even requested to receive a lower medal, even though you were being put in for a much higher and more significant medal and achievement medal. Stop capping. Stolen valor. What is it? Next on Ask the Adjutant.
Call on, call on, call on, Thomas Mengesha. He will fight for your rights with all of his might. He's Mengesha.
Hello, I'm Thomas Mengesha, Captain, United States Army, retired, and former adjutant for Base Support Battalion North in Camp Buren, Kuwait. I'm also the author of The Service Member's Guide to Deployment, What Every Soldier, Sailor, Airman, Marine Should Know Prior to Being Deployed. I had a very interesting situation happen a while back, and I wanted to share it with you. I was talking with a gentleman, and we were talking, and it came up about military service. And I told him that I actually served in the military. I didn't tell him exactly what I did, but I told him I served in the military. And he looked at me and he was shocked. He seemed perplexed. He actually didn't believe that I served in the military. And when I told him that not only did I serve in the military, traveled around the world, I told him about certain assignments that I had and spent 2 tours in the combat war zone of Iraq, he was just filled with disbelief. And that made me think about an article that I came across dealing with stolen valor. Now, what is stolen valor? Now, there are many examples, but the basic definition includes the act of falsely claiming military service, falsely claiming a certain rank which was not earned, and can also include the wear or claim of certain military awards or decorations that were never actually awarded. Now, examples of stolen valor, some stolen valor cases involve people claiming to have served in combat. Often the fraud comes by claiming an award of the Purple Heart, Medal of Honor, or other highly prestigious recognition. Others come when someone tries to claim an association with a combat unit, a military operation, or even a famous name involved in a military campaign or deployment. One possible example was reported in the Atlantic a few years back, which briefly chronicled the attempts of an entrepreneur who attempted to claim he served in uniform with the late founder of the Army Delta Force. Now, the Atlantic reports his story might well be true, but such claims arise the ear of those in the military community if and when proven false. Now, let's talk about some tall tale signs of stolen valor. Now, how can someone with or without military experience tell the difference between a legitimate claim and a stolen valor? It's not always easy to do with or without additional information. It may be hard to tell where the truth ends and the falsehood begins. But those who choose to exaggerate or lie about military service often make the same kind of mistakes as those who have lied about serving before them. Now, what kind of mistakes are we talking about? Now, one of the obvious mistakes is claiming about serving that the person cannot describe in detail. So if you were to come up to me and say, Tom, you said you were in the military. I don't believe you were in the military, like the guy who I had that conversation with, and you would start probing. So one of the most obvious is making a claim about serving that the person cannot describe in detail. For example, someone who cannot describe in detail where they were deployed to Iraq may or may not have served in the Green Zone in Baghdad. Anyone who did serve there likely knows a detail or two that someone who does not or who has never served there. If, for example, I came across someone and they said that they served in Kuwait, and I would mention things about Camp Arifjan or Camp Buring, and they didn't know various things about Camp Buring, I would find that highly suspect. I was the adjutant for Base Support Battalion North in Camp Buring in 2007, 2008 time period. So I know a lot of detail about Camp Buring. I was also the Deputy Chief Theater for Rest and Recuperation at Camp Arifjan from 2006 to 2007. And I also know some details about Camp Arifjan in Kuwait. So if someone were to tell me that they served in any of those locations, they certainly should be able to answer some basic questions. And that also goes with someone who may have said that they served in Honduras or even just served in the military. Now, other attempts to claim service that wasn't real can include obvious mistakes about the nature of the duty. Now, you wouldn't take shore leave as a ground-based soldier, and you can't be a lawyer in the U.S. military as an enlisted person. So if someone says, they were Sergeant Rainey and they served as a attorney, that certainly should tell you that the person is certainly full of crap and embellishing, because the only people that are attorneys in the military are officers. Now, some will claim to have served in elite units and have secret military records. That's also a good one, but actually could be true, by the way. This is a classic example of unverifiable claims, and as such, they're usually viewed with suspicion. Other claims to have served during war and let people draw their own conclusions about what that means. However, serving during wartime is not the same as serving in hostile fire zone. There are plenty of veterans who served during times of conflict, but who do not actually participate in live fire. And that kind of reminds me of a situation where someone said that they served in wartime and their actually duty assignment was as a greeter at Disney World. It's true, it's factually true. So, but just know that there is a difference, obviously, in serving in active combat where you're firing rounds downrange and having other rounds thrown at you as well. Now, however, I will say this, just because that someone is not actively shooting back and forth at you, I would take issue with the fact that you are still not in danger. Just ask those people who were fleeing Afghanistan and you had suicide bombers that blew themselves up at the gate, killing several U.S. service members, or being in the green zone and having artillery fired on you and also dying, or traveling around Kuwait or Iraq. So it becomes ambiguous. The bottom line is do your own due diligence and find out if that is true or not. Now, the question comes up, is stolen valor a crime? Well, in 2005, a Stolen Valor Act signed into law by President George W. Bush made it illegal for people to falsely represent themselves as having been awarded any decoration or medal authorized by Congress for the armed services or any of the service medals or badges. So keep that in mind. The overturn of the Stolen Valor Act of 2005 was killed on technicality. The law was too broad, as such was viewed to make lying itself a crime, so it was overthrown. So when a new Stolen Valor Act was signed into law in 2013 by President Barack Obama, the wording of the law was changed to be more specific. Now, in 2013, the targets the intent of the person making false claims. So under the 2013 law, it is a violation of a federal law for someone to falsely claim military service, awards, or decorations or embellished rank. But what makes this a crime? The intent to get money, property, or some other benefit by making the false claim. Now, in 2013, the law identifies several specific military awards that it is illegal to claim with intent to gain benefits by doing so. Now, what are they, you might ask? Well, let's go through them. You have the Medal of Honor. You have the Distinguished Service Cross. You have the Air Force Cross, the Silver Star, Bronze Star, Purple Heart, Combat Action Ribbon, and this is basically a ribbon that you get when you're actually in combat, Combat Infantryman's Badge, Combat Action Badge, Combat Medical Badge, Combat Action Medal, replacement or duplicate medals for such medal as authorized by law. Now, the penalty for the stolen valor under 2013 Act can include fines and or up to 6 months of imprisonment. So if you're out there capping about your service or lack thereof, and when I say capping, shout out to Miss Asia. Capping is a urban term for lying. So stop the cap if you're out there using stolen valor techniques to claim your military service. You want to ensure that not only do you not do that, because what it takes to join the military, less than 5% of the American public, actually, I even think it's like less than 1% of the, I have to look at those numbers again, have actually even served in the military. And for those of y'all who have served and served honorably, I want to thank you for your service. If this has been beneficial, go ahead and like and subscribe and share this video to as many people that you think should hear it. And if you have any other ideals or suggestions of topics that you would like the adjutant to go into, go ahead and leave a comment down in the description box below. And I may just do a video addressing your topic. And with that, I wish you all blessings and blessings. Shalom.
Call on, call on, call on. Thomas Mengesha.
Be sure to ring the bell in order to be notified of new uploads on this channel. And also, comment, share, like, and subscribe. Allahim willing, new videos coming each week.
He will fight for your rights with all of his might. He's Mengesha.